One thing that we're keeping an eye on, especially because it's Friday and we know that the NFL likes to dump bad news into that late Friday afternoon window in the summertime. Deshaun Watson, is today the day that we find out what the league is proposing by way of a suspension? Remember, three-step process. First, the league proposes a suspension. Second, the independent disciplinary officer, retired Judge Sue L. Robinson, decides what the punishment will be. And three, if there is any discipline imposed at all, the commissioner is responsible for handling the appeal. It could go up, it could go down, it could stay the same. But it all begins with the NFL proposing a suspension. And there was reporting yesterday that the league, the union, and Deshaun Watson working on a potential settlement. Some people are like, well, what? How can that be? It happens not infrequently where you will see an announcement of a suspension and the player, as part of the announcement, says he's not going to exercise his appeal rights. That implies there's been some sort of a negotiated outcome. It is fine, it is fair, it is proper, and it is a way to come up with a final number that works for everyone. The problem is, from the league's perspective, with the sensitivity that justifiably applies to the perception that maybe the league doesn't go far enough, if you negotiate a final suspension of, say, 6 games, knowing that it's the product of a back and forth that acknowledges the risks and the pros and the cons and the possibility that Judge Robinson will strike down whatever the NFL tries to do, you still have to sell that to the public. And it still comes off as the punishment imposed by the league, even if it is negotiated. And I wonder if there'll be greater transparency this time around than we usually see if there is a negotiated outcome. So the league can say, we wanted to do more, but there were reasons to negotiate something to a more acceptable level for everyone so we could move past this. And remember, one of the big pieces of leverage the union has here, the expressed intention, as reported by us and the Washington Post, to argue that any punishment imposed on Deshaun Watson must be proportional to punishment imposed on multiple owners, because the conduct policy says higher standard for owners, Daniel Snyder, Robert Kraft, Jerry Jones. That gives the NFL motivation to avoid this possibility of having the union delve into all sorts of facts and circumstances that the league would just as soon prefer to keep concealed, starting with the Commanders' investigation that the league has managed for nearly a year now to keep concealed. So, bottom line, barring a settlement, the NFL will be proposing a suspension and beginning the process. Will it be today? Will it be sometime in the next week? I can't imagine it being any later than next Friday. If the goal truly is to get this done by the start of training camp, and you've got these 3 steps you have to work through, anything after 4th of July, you're not going to have time to get it resolved by the start of camp, and then it becomes a challenge to get it resolved by the start of the regular season.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.